George Steele, our new general manager and artistic director, has chosen to open his very first season at New York City Opera with a contemporary American opera.
And not any 20th century American opera, but one of the greatest of them.
It's based on the very famous biblical account of Queen Esther, who was married to the king of Persia and happened to be Jewish, but did not reveal that.
Her story is, and it's really her story, is her coming to grips with her identity.
The opera has a lot of contemporary resonance.
Esther really brings up the issue of assimilation. How much do you want to assimilate to the point where you don't claim your roots?
The dramatic parts of the story really would belong in an opera, and especially by a serious composer like a Hugo Weisgall.
He is America's greatest opera composer in the 20th century, and Esther is his masterpiece. New York City Opera gave the world premiere in 1993. It was a complete smash and sold out.
Not only was it a great popular success, but it also was a great critical success.
And there have been a lot of cries to revive it ever since.
Well, we are now.
This work will be seen as one of the great works of the 20th century. There's no doubt in my mind. That's partly what people felt in the theater back then in 1993. There was just that feeling that we were at a very special event.
New York City Opera has, in fact, given the world premiere of 3 Hugo Weisgall operas. So he's a composer we're particularly committed to, and he's someone whose music I think you'll fall in love with if you don't already know it.
His musical language is very much out of the school of Berg, Schoenberg, and Webern. And he made no apologies for that.
Even though his music is very modernist and it doesn't shy away from dissonance and very dramatic kinds of music, he's also a great vocal composer.
Hugo seemed to really have a great understanding for the unique color and timbre of the soprano voice, and the music he wrote for the role of Esther is quite demanding, but very powerful and very, very expressive. Lauren Flanagan is such a unique artist, and here she does the title character who's on stage most of the evening in a fiendishly difficult atonal opera. But I think she would agree that it was the role that really was a springboard for her career and her immense gifts.
And it's a spectacular production to boot, full of video and magic stage changes.
The production really flows from one scene to the next very effortlessly, even though they can be in wildly different locations.
To have an artist like Jerome Serlin, where his work is primarily projections, one can shift from a desert to a mountaintop to a kitchen table within a matter of seconds, and do it in a very facile and very theatrical way. The scale of this, musically, theatrically, and emotionally, is so grand that it's hard to imagine anyone with a reasonably open mind or open heart would not be affected by it, would not be impacted by it.
It's true epic music theater and going to be a great way to start the season.
You know, who knows? This might be the great first opera if you're considering trying opera for the first time. Never mind La Boheme. Come to Esther.